welcome to Youth Sunday School. We are now in part 4 of our Fruit of the Spirit series, and today's topic is peace. So let's go ahead and read the scripture where the fruits of the Spirit are listed in Galatians 5:22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There is no law against things like this. So, peace. What is peace? I mean, I feel like we probably all know what peace is. It's a basic word that we learn as children. But if we look at the dictionary definition, it's surprisingly long because, believe it or not, there's lots of different kinds of peace. So let's check out that dictionary definition. A state of tranquility or quiet, such as a freedom from civil disturbance. A state of security or order within a community provided for by law or custom. Freedom from disquieting or oppressive thoughts or emotions. Harmony in personal relations. A state or period of mutual concord between governments. A pact or agreement to end hostilities between those who have been at war or in a state of enmity. Used interjectionally to ask for silence or calm, or as a greeting or farewell. Down's my favorite because then you can be like, peace, and like go away. But anyways, that's not the one we're talking about. Surprisingly, as we go over a few cool facts about peace to learn what it means for peace to be a fruit of the Spirit, and how do we live out peace as a fruit of the Spirit, specifically in our faith walks, one fun fact to know is that shalom is also a greeting. It's the Hebrew word for peace. Fun fact, you read Hebrew from right to left, so when you look at that Hebrew word there, you read the letters from right to left, and that's the word. Shalom is a really cool word. I like it. I mean, it is the Hebrew word for peace, but it encompasses more than that. Shalom also means wholeness or completeness, and like being healed and all put together and set right. And so peace isn't just, the lack of badness, but it's the presence of goodness. And that is reflected in a quote by Martin Luther King Jr. Peace fact 2. I like this quote so much. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice." So what this meant for Martin Luther King Jr. was, he worked tirelessly during the civil rights movement to lead people and get them moving and working for equal rights and access and treatment of Black people in America. And he wanted to talk about that because there may have been times in America's history when America was technically at peace, but at the same time, just because the country wasn't at war didn't mean that it was a peaceful place to be, especially if you were someone who were seen as less than, because of your race. A lot of Black people faced segregation, they faced Jim Crow laws in the South, and it was just, it wasn't peaceful for them. Maybe there was no war, and maybe people weren't fighting all over the place, but that doesn't mean that it's peaceful just because people are forced into it and treated badly and threatened with violence. Of course, you can make peace happen as in the absence of violence by, forcing people into it and threatening them with violence if they don't comply. But that's not true peace. So what he is saying, what Martin Luther King said about peace being the presence of justice, is that you can't have any kind of real peace when it's forced. It has to be given to everyone. Peace, freedom has to be given to everyone to find their own peace before there can be any true peace. So think about that. I know it's kind of a popular motif in pop culture to name weapons and things with the word peace in them. There's a TV show called Wynonna Earp where the main character, Wynonna Earp, carries around a gun that's named Peacemaker because it kills people, and that seems kind of odd. And then there's other games where I think just as I was scrolling through Google, there was one game that was a video game and there was a weapon called Peacebringer, and I thought, That, like, I guess there could technically be peace and a lack of violence after, killing everyone, because then there's nobody left to fight, but that's not the right kind of peace. Killing is kind of the opposite of peace, so that's my 2 cents on that. And then one final peace fact is that peace can be an inner state of being and or an outer state of being. One big example of this for me is the time before I came out in 2016. So I had a lot of inner turmoil when I realized that I wasn't straight and couldn't live the life that had been prescribed for me by society and the church and everyone around me. And it threw me into a state of inner turmoil, and it was really difficult for several months, because if I came out, that would have to change all my plans for my future, because I was in seminary, and the United Methodist Church doesn't ordain people who aren't straight. So that gave me a lot of inner turmoil, and I realized that I had a choice, because if I stayed in the closet and didn't tell anyone, then I could have a peaceful life on the outside. The church would still ordain me, and I would still be treated well as a white person in the United States with my privilege. And I knew that if I came out, a lot of that privilege could disappear, and I could be treated badly. And so I had to choose between having inner peace, like living authentically as myself and being accepted and loved by people, or I had to choose between outer peace, which was, not being threatened for existing the way that I am. And so I chose. I was so tired of my inner turmoil and struggle that I chose to have inner peace instead. And so that's why I came out. I chose to feel calm and whole in myself, even if it meant the world around me would become less peaceful to me. And I think it was the right decision, because now I'm not alone in my journey. I think if you can share your inner turmoil with another person, then you're not alone anymore, and that can give you so much peace. So what does it even mean to have peace as a fruit of the Spirit? I think it isn't just, being calm and easygoing and feeling great. It's not just inner peace, but you have to create peace. I think that's the call of Jesus on our lives as the fruit of the Spirit of peace, is to create peace in our lives, to live out peace, to sow it wherever we can. We need to work for peace and for justice for all people, and for freedom for all people, because that is the only way to true peace for humanity. We need to find that wholeness in ourselves, let Jesus heal us from all that hurts us, let Jesus transform us into people who create peace wherever we go instead of violence or tension. We are called to be peacemakers, and it can be difficult, but I think it's doable. So go out into this week thinking about how you can create peace, both inside of yourself and outside of yourself. Think about ways that you can bring peace into the world and to the other people around you. Think about how to create justice and not tension. I love y'all, and I'll see you at youth group. Bye!